Good morning. This is Chase Clanton with Hopkins Farms broadcasting WLIJ Shelbyville, Tennessee, and I am joined today by City Council members Josh Blevins and Betsy Noel. Josh and Betsy, how you guys doing today?
Doing good. Thanks for having us, Chase.
Doing great. Thanks for having us.
Yes, for sure. So we're going to talk today a little bit about what's going on in the city of Shelbyville. There's lots of stuff, and you guys came prepared. You brought a whole list of topics that we can discuss today. So we've got one that we want to start with in particular, and it's economic development. And if you just drive through Shelbyville, you'll see that that's going on.
You may or may not have noticed, Chase, we got a lot of coffee shops coming to Shelbyville.
We do. We do.
I've got a friend that used to call North Main Chicken Strip, and now you could call it the Coffee Strip as well.
It's Coffee and Chicken Strip.
Coffee and chicken. We got coffee and chicken coming, nonstop. So we recently, Seven Brew opened not that long ago, and then this coming week we've got the ribbon cutting for Dutch Bros.
Okay.
That's been in a soft opening for the past week or so.
Yeah.
Then just yesterday I heard a rumor on the internet that Wingstop may have opened a little bit early. They were supposed to open officially Monday, but they may be in a soft opening right now. So just a lot of new businesses coming into the area, just nonstop. We seem to be the place to open a business at the moment.
Yeah, we really do.
Yeah, and eventually, we're going to get a Five Below up there at the Walmart Super Center up on the hill. And then also we're, looking forward to Grindstone opening up,
Yes, on the square.
So, yeah, on the square.
Yeah, that's excellent. So lots of stuff coming to Shelbyville. Why do you guys think that is? I think that seems to be the biggest question. Is it a population thing?
Yeah, it's just overall, I think, the growth. Middle Tennessee, obviously it started in Nashville. Nashville exploded, and it's just kept, working its way out from the middle.
Sure.
And eventually it's gotten down to us where I was at an economic development meeting this morning, actually, and I heard from our utility director that we are the third fastest growing utility in Tennessee right now. So
wow.
People are coming, businesses are coming, and that was part of the reason when I ran for city council, that was part of, what I was looking at was the growth that was coming and what we could do to manage it and get good growth for the city, things that going forward people would want to continue to come here. People want to raise their family here, bring their kids here, have something to do, and that's kind of the direction we're hoping to take the city in. So
and it's again that growth is just obvious. I mean, the closer you get to Nashville, the more crazy growth. I mean, the more of it you see. Murfreesboro's exploding, and therefore it just kind of radiates downward.
Trickles down. Yeah, but we want to keep the rural atmosphere here. We don't want, that's a lot of what I hear from people, especially people who have lived here their whole lives.
Sure, yeah.
We don't want to be Murfreesboro, so we don't want North Main Street to look like South Church Street, to where you're sitting in traffic to get anywhere
for an hour
to get across town. So we've done some things recently in the planning department to increase our standards as far as green space and new developments that come into town, to where we're hoping not to get so dense and condensed like they are in the big city. We still want to remain a small town. So,
right.
Yeah. Just to build off what Josh was saying, that's kind of what we're looking for. We want to grow, and we know we're going to grow, but we want to be smart when we're growing. So right now we're working on making those plans to let the people come in, build houses, bring opportunities for our residents, but do it smartly.
Yeah. So how do we grow smartly? How would you guys say we do that?
I think it's through raising our standards. A lot of what we got, some of the neighborhoods we got that maybe are a little bit too dense, if you were, right now, are because we had lower standards and we had things come in that, maybe weren't as what we're looking to have going forward. That's why we're trying to change some of that and increase our standards, and then just make things better. We'd like to have, if you're moving in here and you're bringing your family, we'd like your neighborhood to have some kind of green space, a park or something. We'd like to get more neighborhoods walkable, where you take your kids out, playgrounds, stuff like that, spread across the city, so it's a good environment to raise a family in.
Right.
Right. And like Josh said earlier, they have, in the Planning Commission, they have made changes to those requirements to help those developers know that that's what they're going to have to do when they come in.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And I think that goes back to, here in Shelbyville, we do want to grow. we do want to move forward, but yet we want to maintain our southern charm.
Right.
Too.
Oh, absolutely. Right. And that's a lot of the work going on the square is where we're really trying to get that going. We've the city in particular has invested a ton of money recently in what we're going to be calling the Riverview District and the Riverwalk over there through a combination of grants and then also local tax dollars. We've got, as Betsy said earlier, the Grindstone Cowboy. They are shooting for an opening sometime later this year, hopefully.
Okay.
And we'll have that the street between where the Grindstone Cowboy and the Glass Hollow table is at right now. That's going to turn into a pedestrian walkway where you can kind of walk down there, hang out, get down by the river. Eventually, there's going to be what's called the River Overlook, which is actually a structure that goes out over where the dam is there. So you can walk out on it and actually stand and look down at the water, have small events there, that type of thing. So there's a lot going on over there, and hopefully that brings in people, not just obviously from Shelbyville and Bedford County, but maybe somebody from Rutherford County wants to come down here and have dinner and hanging out with their family and stuff like that. So, which that brings in sales tax dollars, which is helpful for local for education and schools and whatnot here in the county. So,
and there'll be better parking because we've been working on a parking lot in the back through the city over by the Fly. So we've added additional parking for the square because it's getting so busy.
Yeah.
And then of course you got the Glass Hollow that opened, and then we'll have the rooftop bar area over there on Grindstone that has a beautiful view.
Yeah. It would.
And then all the green space that'll be down there just for individuals just to go and hang out and just have a great place to be.
Wow. So again, this Riverwalk, excuse me. So you'd be able to walk over the river, like on a structure? Is that how that would work, or is it a little different?
Yeah, the overlook actually, it's actually a physical structure that's going to hang out over the river, but it's connected to the Riverwalk. The walk will be, you could start at Fisherman's Park, walk all the way up over the bridge, walk along the river, go out over the overlook, and then continue down to River Bottom Park. So it's kind of a little greenway, just kind of a walking space where you can walk and hang out with your family and have a picnic, just get outside and do something instead of sitting in the house.
Sure, yeah. We can do more than that in Shelbyville.
Right. Yeah. Maybe eventually, there'll be a location down there to where people can come play music or...
Yes. Scott Collins and I have talked about that on the program before. I think he even mentioned maybe a
little amphitheater or something.
Oh, okay.
Well, maybe in the far future.
Sure. But
that's a possibility.
Anything to have music on, right?
Yeah.
I think Scott Collins has even mentioned it'd be a good place to have a wedding, special events, stuff like that. Do we maybe anticipate like I know the rec center or HV Griffin Park has pavilions with picnic tables and stuff. Do we anticipate maybe some picnic tables or something like that?
Benches and stuff. And I know the roadway there that's going to be closed for pedestrian traffic is supposed to have those dangling lights over it to give it kind of ambiance and whatnot.
Sure.
And then they could have some seating and tables actually out in the street where the restaurants and bars and stuff there could serve food, and you could just kind of hang out outside when the weather's nice enough.
So, I see.
Yeah.
Well, everything you guys are telling me kind of reminds me of Franklin, Tennessee. It's a nice place. It's it's very modern, but yet it has that southern charm, that rural atmosphere, and it's a nice place where you would want to take your family and have a meal and a nice walk. Yeah. Or you could even go out to Kartplex. I mean, I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, if you want to go ride the go-karts, or go up to Uncle Nearest and take a tour.
There's tours. There's so much going on here in Shelbyville.
Well, people can come stay as well because there's Airbnbs around the square and close to the square location, so they can come. They can hang out on the historic square of Shelbyville. They can go take some tours. They can go visit some locations, and then still just be right there in the heart of what we're trying to build.
Absolutely. So exciting things coming to Shelbyville. All right, folks, I'll tell you what, we're going to take a 2-minute break and hear from our sponsors here on Gov Talk. We'll be right back right after this.
Here at Farm Credit Mid-America, we want to get to know you and your story. We are a member-owned cooperative offering a range of loan products. So when you find that incredible land tract that you've been longing for that fits into your story, give me a call, Jonathan Boyce, at 931-212-0101. or come by and see me, 1908 Madison Street here in Shelbyville, Tennessee. Loans are subject to credit approval. Additional terms and conditions may apply. Farm Credit Mid-America is an equal opportunity lender.
Kincaid's is proud to offer Beauty Rest Black to our customers. Beauty Rest Black represents a leap forward in bedding with sleep climate technology keeping you cool and triple-stranded pocketed coils to give you luxurious support all night long. Wake up refreshed and ready to take on the day with a new Beauty Rest Black mattress from Kincaid Service Company. 400 Madison Street, Shelbyville, across from the Speedway gas station. 931-684-5662.
At United Communications, we're more than just fast internet. We're your local connection to reliability and service you can count on, right here in Bedford County. With fiber fast speeds and a team in your local community, we keep you connected when it matters most. No long hold times, no out-of-town providers, just real service from people who care. Call 931-740-1800 or visit united.net. Thousands of Tennesseans already trust United. United Communications. Fast, local internet.
When's the last time you've seen the eye doctor? Don't wait. Whether it's little Carter's first pair of glasses or keeping a good eye on your vision health as you age, your eyes are a precious thing. See personalized care for the whole family and friendly faces at Dr. Hasty Family Eye Care on 605 North Main in Shelbyville across from the U.S. Post Office. Striving to bring you excellence in optometry every single day. Don't put your family's vision off. Make an appointment today at 931-684-2020. Personalized eye care for the whole family at Dr. Hasty Family Eye Care.
Good morning. This is Chase Clanton on Gov Talk with Hopkins Farms Broadcasting. And again, I'm joined by Josh Blevins and Betsy Noel, all members of the City Council here in Shelbyville, talking about various updates, projects, and things going on, improvements to Shelbyville. And again, that's why I enjoy this program with today you guys and also Scott Collins as well, because we get to find out about all kinds of cool things that are coming to Shelbyville and how the city is improving. So thank you guys again for coming today.
Yeah, glad to be here.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. So there is a TDOT paving project going on right now, I understand. Is that right?
There is. I drove down North Main today, coming back from breakfast at the Blue Ribbon Diner there in Houston.
There you go. Okay.
And, noticed a lot of the pavement's gone. They've ground down a lot of pavement. We're getting all new pavement starting about the Walmart all the way down just about to the square. So that happens in the overnight hours, so it doesn't interrupt traffic during daytime. But that's a big thing to get all those potholes fixed up. And then also the city is about to start working. We've had in the plans for a while. There's a section of Deary Street that's going to be getting new sidewalks. That's a grant that we got.
Thank goodness, right? Because we travel that a lot.
Yeah, and then also a portion of Madison Street that there's a sidewalk project coming up that they've been working on. So different small areas around the city where we're trying to make improvements. I know everybody being on city council now, you get a lot of complaints about potholes and street conditions and whatnot. Sure. The council actually, before we got on last year, decided to put an additional, it was either $500,000 or $600,000 into paving for the city each year. So we spend, as a city, we spend $1.1 million now a year on paving, which that sounds like a lot, but as much as paving costs right now, that actually only paves about 4 miles of city streets. But in the most recent year, if you're on my side of town, Shelbyville Mills Road got completely redone, part of West Lane, and then there's various other small neighborhood streets throughout town that were paved last year, and the same will happen this coming year once the budget gets passed in a few weeks.
This is $1 million type of deal to really get some good progress done on roads.
Yeah, and again, that's not a lot. That's 4 miles. So you think $1 million gets you a lot.
It starts with an M.
Yeah.
It has 2 commas in it.
Right.
Yeah. So, there's a lot going on. And we're in budget season right now, and that's part of the balance that we as council members and then the other council members have to consider is we want to do all those things for the city. I wish we could repave every street in the city and we
just make it all new.
We just make it all new, but we also
but
we have to remain cognizant. I mean, I've got a ton of people in my ward that are on a fixed income, that are living on Social Security and whatnot. We got to find a way to do it within the means that we have. We don't want to be the ones that are out there raising their taxes, making it where they can't afford to live in their homes.
And then they have to, that's just bad news all the way around.
Yeah, so we're doing as much as we can within the means that we have without going outside those means, and I feel like that's really important for us. So.
I respect that.
Yeah.
You do the best you can with what you have, and absolutely. You definitely don't want to, pressure people and cause them any financial issues.
Yeah,
it's because you have a project that you want to complete.
Yeah, but a way we get around some of that is we get the state grants, and a big one we've gotten recently is for the soccer park. We're about to do a big expansion at the Parks complex. We're going to end up with about a $4 million soccer complex out there, and it's only going to cost us $770,000 of city money because we got a state grant to cover the rest of it. So,
right.
Yeah, so that's, I figured, for $700,000. And I actually, in all fairness, I didn't actually vote on that. That happened before me, but I feel like it was a good idea.
You do support it,
yeah, to get a big soccer park like that for that small of an investment of city money. I think that's something that's going to draw people in from outside of town.
I think so too.
Soccer tournaments, and that's a big thing anymore, is this travel soccer.
And that'll bring in a lot of revenue. People are coming in for soccer tournaments, and they're going to be staying in our hotels. They're going to be using Walmart, Kroger.
Sure.
We're going to get those tax dollars, which is going to help us, pave more roads or do other things like that.
Right.
But also at the park, I don't know how many people use it, but there's a really great dog park
let's talk
that
about
is
that.
right beside the tennis courts over there. If you have never seen them, it stays pretty busy, but for a long time there weren't any lights. So after it became about dusk, it would get too dark. You wouldn't want to be walking over in there.
It feels a little unsafe if it's too dark.
It could be. And so now they have actually put up some lights so people can stay later, bring their dogs later, because a lot of people may not get in from work until later, or with it being very hot, they want to wait until it's cooler in the evening. So if you haven't checked that out, everybody needs to go check out the dog park over there at the Shelbyville Park by the tennis courts.
Yeah, and especially winter months. In the winter it gets dark super early.
I was going to say,
yes.
So it's extra helpful during
So it'll be great.
Months.
It'll be great. I think a lot of people have been utilizing that. So.
That's excellent. Yeah. So we're seeing improvements in the parks. So we just had the Park Service in for a program, I think, on Wednesday. Mm-hmm. So we had Trevor. Trevor came in. Yeah, so we had a great update on that too. But I didn't hear about the bark park, so I'm going to have to ask him about that.
Ask him about the dog park.
Ask him about the dog park.
Exactly, yeah. Okay, anything else about parks we should mention?
No, I think that's Trevor probably knows all the rest of what's going on at the park. So I know they got the 4th of July thing coming up at the park soon, and I think he talked about it on the radio show. They've also got the race down the Duck River that they're doing fairly soon.
Yes, that's coming up. I think it's I believe that is July 19th.
Sometime in July. Yeah. So they got a lot going on there, and there's a lot of senior citizen programming that happens at our park. They have a great department there that just does events for seniors. So if you are a senior citizen living in the city and you want to get plugged in somewhere, they've got a lot of stuff going on there, programming and food and different things that they do there all month long. So it'd be worth the visit just to find out what's going on over there.
Excellent. Well, let's talk airport now. I know MTSU's coming to town. They're here. They're here.
Yes, they're here.
I'm seeing lots of expansion. Tell me a little bit about what's going on at the Shelbyville Airport.
Yeah, actually, I was driving down 231 twice recently, and the old Raider Express shuttle now comes back and forth from campus every day. I don't know how often, but I'm like, I haven't seen that since I was at MTSU, which was quite a few years ago, or over 30, I think.
Oh, okay.
But it actually comes to town now, bringing students, taking them back up to MTSU. So they've already got a temporary building there. They've got some planes there. They're already training students. We just rezoned the property to the appropriate zone. I think it was I-2 it needed to be. So they're going to be able to soon actually start breaking ground and doing work over there.
Wow.
We've got a sewer project coming in from the backside that's going to bring sewer to them. Okay. And then we just approved financing for water to come from 231. So all the pieces are coming together there. Mm-hmm. And eventually I've seen they've got a multi-phase plan. It's not just going to be the education building. Long term, there's going to be student housing there. There's going to be dorms, and it's going to be a big thing.
Yes.
That is long term.
Yeah. Right on the front end, there's going to be a traffic signal is going to be part of that as well, because of the number of people people coming and going. So.
Yeah, thank you for doing that on the front end, because that just sounds like a great idea.
Yeah, so a lot there. And then just right across the street, we've got the TCAT building that's been under construction. That looks very close to opening, I would say. So a lot of education opportunities going on right there, right on the north side of town. And that's going to draw more development up there. We just approved Thursday night, I think it was, a final rezoning. There's a 21-acre parcel there that's now set up for commercial right across from the bypass.
And McDale.
And where McDale runs into 231. And the hope is to get a nice, possibly a grocery store in there, or some kind of a shopping center, and just continue to move the retail and stuff up to the north. And as the students come down, naturally, people are going to want to build restaurants and stuff to service them.
That's a great point. Yeah. So with the Raider Express coming down, that's a metaphor.
Right.
Yeah. Literally too. But with students coming down this way, they might need to stop. I know we do have a racetrack, gas station there, which has been convenient for me. Yeah. But we will need some type of grocery store in that area, and maybe even more restaurants.
Yeah.
I know we've got Nearest Greens restaurant out there. We've got the Blue Ribbon.
Yep, Blue Ribbon Diner,
thank you.
Good spot for breakfast. Plug.
Yeah, sure, why not? And so these students are going to need some lifestyle provisional type things, and things to do as well,
and places to live. Not only because there's not going to be dorms there right now, maybe other places to live, maybe more high-end apartments somewhere around in that area.
Townhomes or whatever.
Right.
So, and again, we're just kind of having a brainstorming session, I think, on the air at this point. I think I just became city council.
Right.
Yeah. But the other thing we hear a lot, too, is everybody says, why have you forgotten Madison Street? What's going on out at Madison Street? And we've not forgotten Madison Street, and there's businesses looking at Madison Street. Actually, I was at a furniture store that just opened there earlier this week. I was there with Benny from here at the radio at an event, and the old Badcock building. There's been a couple businesses looking at that.
Forgot about that.
It just sits.
So there's a number of things looking to go in on Madison Street. There's nothing that can be announced yet, but there's definitely activity happening out on that side of town. And I think things are going to start moving as 231 starts filling in. Naturally, some things are going to move over towards Madison Street. So
there is interest out there.
Yeah.
And again, as this growth radiates from Nashville, as I draw on my imaginary map, and it goes downward, it goes south into Murfreesboro, goes south into Shelbyville, it's not surprising that growth on the north end of the county even would continue to trickle down back to Madison Street, where I don't know where it all started, but where the happenings were 30 years ago.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and then also the celebration grounds, draws a lot of people in.
Of
and
course.
The Cooper Steel Arena has all the activities all year round. And so that's bringing more people in. The more activities they can have, the more people, the more tax dollars brought into the community.
Mm-hmm.
So,
we've heard a lot of good ideas recently about the celebration grounds. In particular, they're looking at the fact it's one of the largest RV parks in the area, Middle Tennessee overall.
Yeah. Scott and I talked about
that. And it really gets underused a lot. It's used a lot, obviously, during the celebration, but in a lot of the year it sits basically empty. So there's been a push now to maybe find a way to get people to utilize that more year-round. They don't necessarily even have to be tourists that are just here for Shelbyville. Maybe they're just wanting to be in Middle Tennessee on the Whiskey Trail, or just Middle Tennessee in general. They need a nice place. It's inexpensive. It's kind of centrally located. And if we could get more people utilizing that, those same people would then fill up for gas while they're here. They may go to Chick-fil-A and get them a chicken sandwich, or whatever, here in town, and just utilize more of what we already have here to bring more people in.
I think the bottom line of what I'm hearing, guys, is that Shelbyville is not only growing, but it's becoming a more attractive place to come and visit and live and work as well, because all the different, I'll just say, amenities, I guess, that we have here now, and it's really encouraging to see that.
It is, yeah, and that's what brought me here. I've only been here 3 years, so yeah, we were tired of the big city. We wanted something smaller, but still convenient enough that if I still need to get up to Nashville and have a meeting with a customer or something, I'm close enough. But I prefer my day-to-day to be able to drive across town in 5 or 10 minutes and not get stuck in traffic, and this is a big improvement over South Nashville, where I lived for most of the rest of my life.
Oh, so, wow.
Yeah.
And I'm a lifelong resident here, so, other than just moving away for school and then coming back, but I do see the great potential and just the growth that's happened, and I hope it just keeps going that way, because eventually I want my kids to want to come back and live here, and others to want to be able to have opportunities here to come back and work and stay and live and raise their kids.
I think that's a lot of it is, parents see their children and their kids grow up and they want to live they want to live and move off and go somewhere else, and that's okay, maybe that's right for them, but we could make Shelbyville a place where they could actually make it at home,
right,
which would be excellent. Now, Betsy, as we're getting close to time, you pointed out something. You've been a lifelong resident here in Shelbyville and Bedford County. If you don't mind, I'd love to hear somewhat of a testimonial, if you will, about what you've seen here in Shelbyville. I mean, over your lifetime, how it's grown and the changes you've seen.
Well, it's changed a lot. It's definitely a lot different than when I grew up. I graduated high school 35 years ago.
Okay.
I don't even like to say that, but 35 years ago this year.
That's not that bad.
35 years ago this year. But, the walking horse industry has definitely changed. When I was growing up, there was the pencil industry here, and that has definitely gone through some changes as well.
Sure.
But I do see that there's lots of growth and happenings happening on the square. I love the revitalization up there around the square. I love the feel you get when you go up there. I love the hospitality of the people on the square and around. And I think that the ones that have been here for a long time welcome change. They welcome new industry, but don't forget about the ones that have been here all their lives in our building. I think it's good. I think the growth, you're right, coming from Murfreesboro is going to keep growing. I think that the corridor on 231 that used to be a 2-lane when I was growing up, it's definitely changed a lot. I love the fact that MTSU has chosen us to come down here and build that opportunity. So I think there's a lot of good going on, and I hope to see that through, especially while I'm on the council.
Yeah, that would be an honor, wouldn't it?
It would be. It definitely would be, I think.
Yeah, well, thank you for that. Appreciate you sharing your story. Guys, is there anything else we want to mention before we go off the air here?
No, I think we've about covered most of it. So.
Well, good. Well, I was glad to talk to you guys today. It's been an honor, and I wish you guys would come back soon sometime. Maybe Scott Collins will come with you.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, folks, we've been talking with members of the Shelbyville City Council here in Tennessee. City Council members Josh Blevins and Betsy Noel. Thank you guys again. Thank you so much for coming in. My name's Chase Clanton, and we will see you next time.
Here at Farm Credit Mid-America, we want to get to know you and your story. We are a member-owned cooperative offering a range of loan products. So when you find that incredible land tract that you've been longing for that fits into your story, give me a call, Jonathan Boyce, at 931-212-0101, or come by and see me, 1908 Madison Street, here in Shelbyville, Tennessee. Loans are subject to credit approval. Additional terms and conditions may apply. Farm Credit Mid-America is an equal opportunity lender.
Visit Kincaid Service Company today to experience the superior comfort of a Serta mattress. Serta has pioneered sleep innovation for more than 90 years, bringing quality products to more than 150 countries worldwide. Serta Comfort is validated by consumers with thousands of 5-star reviews and are designed and assembled in the U.S. at one of Serta's state-of-the-art facilities. Serta's award-winning mattress collections are created by providing superior comfort along with overall support and breathability. Get Serta Comfort by visiting Kincaid Service Company in Shelbyville. Online at KincaidService.com. When's the last time you've seen the eye doctor? Don't wait. Whether it's little Carter's first pair of glasses or keeping a good eye on your vision health as you age, your eyes are a precious thing. See personalized care for the whole family and friendly faces at Dr. Hasty Family Eye Care on 605 North Main in Shelbyville, across from the U.S. Post Office. Striving to bring you excellence in optometry every single day. Don't put your family's vision off. Make an appointment today at 931-684-2020. Personalized eye care for the whole family at Dr. Hasty Family Eye Care.
United Communications builds connections you can rely on. Whether it's fast internet for your home or business, our fiber network is designed for your community. No long hold times, no out-of-town providers, just real service from real people. Call 931-740-1800 or visit united.net. Thousands of Tennesseans already trust United. United Communications. Fast, local internet.
WLIJ. Download WLIJ 98.7 on Google Play and the App Store. The leader in pure classic country, 98.7 and AM 1580.